is the USA a Christian country? Right? That's an interesting question.
Post-Christian.
Yeah, in some ways,
yeah.
yeah. In many ways, absolutely not. Right? And these things are clashing, and they're clashing along all these different lines. It's affecting the social sphere, the political sphere, the way men and women relate to each other and form families or don't. Just so the way the attitude towards so many issues. You have this, I often call it the inversion agenda, where it's like, up is becoming down, down is up. People don't know left from right, man from woman, woman from man. Like, it's just all confused. It's all subjective. People used to talk about the truth. Now it's his truth, her truth, your truth, my truth. Identify as whatever you want, be whatever you want. And it's causing a lot of identity crisis for people. I think a lot of people don't really know who they are, let alone what they stand for, what the principles are, what the principles should be, if principles even exist. It's all just very subjective. And whilst I think that those type of ideas were supposed to liberate people and make people feel free, and hey, you can be whatever you want and you can do whatever you do, but it's gone so overboard that people don't even know the rules of the game anymore. And people are literally having debates about what even is a man, what even is a woman, not what's masculinity, but like, oh, do these things even exist? What even are these categories? Does any of it matter, right? What about just how people feel? So yeah, we're in a weird time.
Yeah, that's a fact. It is a weird time.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful though, because I agree there seems to be cycles to history and bad ideas repeat themselves. And you have different bad ideas today, but in the past there have been a view of man and woman that's not correct, or there's different, even this idea of human rights certainly didn't exist in the Roman Empire, the way that we understand it today, that people are created equal. But the good news, I think, is that we're not fated to anything. Yes, we're fated to individually, we have temptations and we can make mistakes, but at large, we can choose the good, and that can direct the shape of society. So I'm very hopeful, because I don't think, like, the Roman Empire fell, but it kind of fell, degeneracy is part of it, but it also fell because it lost its identity. And Christianity, there's a sociologist named Rodney Stark, who I love. He's written all these books about the rise of Christendom, basically. He's not even a Christian, but he has studied it. And he says there was no dark ages, the way it's misunderstood about Christianity. In fact, it was an ongoing revolution out of Greco-Roman society that saw, women and children as valuable, that cared about the poor, Christians starting the hospital system, that cared about educating the masses, Christians starting education systems. And so, yes, the Roman Empire fell, but it was falling into decay as Christianity was rising. And so what's the end story of, like, these Western ideals that we have that are from Christianity about equality and about truly loving your neighbor as yourself? Like, that's a rule given to us by God, right? For those that are listening that are Christian, we believe it's from God. What is the end story of that? Well, it can be a great revival, I think, in how we treat each other in society, but it just depends, what do we do?
Yeah.
Do we take part in that, or do we reject it? And that's the human story.
Yeah.
Do we reject or take part in the good?